once again.
Lovers, welcome back. I appreciate you guys so much for coming back for yet another exclusive Saturday here on I Am Dee Shields. I love you guys for supporting. Today's guest needs no introduction, but we're going to ask a lot of questions and dig into his life as much as we can. So I appreciate you guys being able to not only tune in and share your comments, but can you do me a favor today and make sure that you share? I really hate to do this thing that I do on my show all the time with this particular guest, but I'm going to do it anyway because you guys count on me. So tell your friend to tell another friend. You don't want to hear me sing. No one does. So make sure that you share so I don't have to sing that anymore because that's been hurting a lot of ears. So make sure that you do that. We're going to give you guys just a moment to share. And we have legendary James Worthy here, producer, singer, songwriter. We're going to bring him on in just one moment. Give me 1 minute to make sure that I am tuned into the interview without doing all of my background. I'm going to share some information with you guys on how to do that for me. So all you have to do is just click share. Okay. So just go and click share for me and put it on social media. Black in Denver, thank you so much for coming back. Black in Denver is a group here in Denver, Colorado area, and these guys have been amazing with making sure that they are sharing the show as well. So I appreciate you guys being patient with the introduction. Now let's get ready to bring our guest on. I'm going to do a little countdown here. So let's bring our guest on in 5, 4, 3, wait for that one. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you guys for coming back. I appreciate you so much for doing so. James Worthy, welcome to the show.
Hey, hey, how you doing?
Hey, so can we get your camera on?
Okay,
Ready?
let me see here. How can we get the camera? Uh, oh no, it keeps saying the camera's not working. No, no. Let's
That's
see.
okay. While
That's
you're
crazy.
working with that, do you want to go while you're doing that, do you want to go ahead and start talking and sharing some of your life?
Yes, yes. So, thank you for the grand introduction already.
You're
I
more
am
than welcome.
James Worthy, producer, songwriter, recording artist, entrepreneur, just all around creative guy. You know.
Absolutely. And so what I'll do here is just make sure that we're matching on the screen there. I'm gonna sit and then let me know when you bring your camera, okay? So tell us about where you're from, James. Tell us about your childhood and where you're from.
Okay. Well, I'm from Queens, New York. Um, wasn't really brought up in a big musical family, but I was always around music. So just being around different areas, getting to meet some of the greats at a very young age, and just just having that inspiration really early. And I was always a music lover around that time too. So just going to record stores every weekend and just buying albums and vinyls, just kind of like learning who did what and everybody's name and what their role was and whatever they were doing. And I was just a fan
Love
of
it.
that. So it was kind of the inevitable for me to want to be in the entertainment business some way, somehow. So that's kind of how it
Exactly.
started.
I love that. I love that very much. And um, do you have siblings?
I have one sister, one younger sister.
Okay, okay. Is that cool being a big brother, or was that a little bit of a headache?
I would say both, to say the least. It's always a good thing to have a younger sibling. For them to learn from you and watch you grow and do things. And it could be a pain in the butt too. When they don't listen and do certain things and just trying to learn life. That's understandable. So it's always two sides.
Exactly. Now, describe yourself in a hashtag for me.
Ooh, in a hashtag.
Hmm.
If I had to put one word, it would be a creative.
Nice. That's really good. And I would agree with you on that. Just looking at your background, I would definitely say you are creative in a lot of different areas, you know. So I
Yeah,
think that's a good one. Hashtag James Worthy, creative indeed. So tell us, what's one
absolutely.
thing that people do not know about you?
What someone doesn't know about me. Hmm. I would probably say people don't really know that I actually started out as a songwriter. I think a lot of people just know me from the production side and the artist side, but a lot of people didn't really know I was writing a lot of stuff before I even went into production. Which,
Right.
those are two separate things right there. And
Exactly.
I've always made it a point to make sure those two things went hand in hand, because they really do. You can't have a song without lyrics, and you can't have a song without production. So
Exactly.
I learned both of them at different times. But when I was writing at first, I got good at it, just learning about song structure and arrangements and melody and all those different types of facets, to where, like, okay, now I need the music to go behind it to put the pieces together. So that's how the production part came about.
Exactly. And now you're able to maneuver around the entire studio, behind the board, behind the microphone, and get into the head of the artist. So I like that.
Yeah, wherever
That's
I
a
fit
rare
in,
skill.
wherever I fit in.
That reminds me of Pharrell, actually. When I think about you, when you said that, I think of Pharrell indeed. So, you said your first was a songwriting project that you worked on. I was looking at your social media just recently with the news of Houdini. Did you want to talk about that
Yes.
at all?
Yeah. Rest in peace to the legend, the pioneer, ecstasy of the legendary group Houdini. He was somebody that was, like my family. Like, he was my mentor. He was like a big brother. I consider him as, like family to me. And I was very close with his family too, and loved ones.
Wow.
So, it really, really hit me hard, because he was one of the few people that really, really embraced me, not only as a musician, but also an artist as well. And, even before meeting him, I was a huge Houdini fan.
Right.
And Houdini was probably, and still is, my favorite rap group of all time, next to Tribe Called Quest.
Love it. Love
And
it.
it was, what they did, not only for hip hop, but sonically and musically, what they did was just something that always inspired me. But it gave me a different perspective on music, as far as, like, them being the first rap group to record a full album overseas and have, like, that techno electric sound implemented
Mhm.
into hip hop and bringing it to the
Wow.
States. I thought that was
Exactly.
very groundbreaking. And I've always respected that from them. And that's, what inspired my music early on the production side. So, when I got a chance to meet him and work with him, it was just an honor. And it's so crazy. Like, I remember I released my first debut EP called Blue Leisure in 2019, last year. And
Wow. Wow. Okay.
he was a part of that project. Me and him did a
Oh,
single together
wow.
called Move. And he was
Wow.
the first collaboration I ever did for that project.
Wow. Do you think that you're going to release that, as far as, is it
Well, I'm
already
thinking
out?
about doing a re-release. Yeah, the song is
Okay.
already out on the EP. So
Okay.
it did amazing. I mean, I think we did, like, the first week we released it, we did like 1 million streams on that song. It was crazy.
Woo!
So
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
Unimaginable.
so it was just a
In
great
my
time.
world. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That had to
So
have
it
been
was great,
amazing.
man. It was an
Yeah.
amazing time. And a lot of people don't even know this story. The first time I ever met him was actually in the studio while I was recording that song. So
Okay. Wow.
when
Wow.
he
Your
when he
mentor
came
in
into the
your head,
studio,
right? Yeah.
yeah, it was so crazy. Like, I was actually recording that song in the studio. He walks in, we're just meeting each other. We've been introduced, via phone before, but we never
Right.
met in person until that day. And
Right.
he just came in there, man. We chopped it up for like a good hour just talking, and he loved the song so much he wanted to get on it. And I was just like, wow, like that's a true honor. And we sat there, we
Indeed.
wrote his verse, and he laid that verse down.
I absolutely love that. And do you say that he's going to inspire anything that you're working on in the future? Like, will
Absolutely,
you add it to some
absolutely,
lyrics? Yeah, yeah. Love that.
absolutely. I mean, right
Yeah.
now I'm actually working on my debut album right now. And even before his passing, we've talked damn near every other day. And just whether it's just music related, life related, whatever it was just always great energy and positive energy. And he's always uplifted me to be the best, to be the best person I can be. And and the crazy part about it is, he's always pushed me to become, a legend in my own right. But I don't think he's ever
Right.
gave himself that credit. Like he was always a very humble person, so he would never credit himself
Right.
as a legend. Even though I would tell him all the
Right.
time. But
He's
he would.
definitely a legend, and I credit you as being a legend. Like, the humility
Thank you.
is
I appreciate
definitely something that will carry you, further. But the people need to give credit where credit is due. And I look
it.
at
Yeah.
just everything that I've seen with the discography, if I said that right, and everything that was sent over to me, and I said, "This is an amazing human being," like.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You've done a lot of amazing things, and I'm catching up. I first saw about who you were through Sick Flow, and that's just I've been
Wow.
following him for a while. My brother is just amazing in all that he does, but I hadn't heard of you. In my world, don't that's not anything to even think about, because I
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
less in you guys' world, and I'm more over in the podcast world. So, but as soon as I saw it, I was attracted to just the creativity and
Wow.
everything that you've been able to do. So I'm impressed indeed.
Thank you so
So
much.
let's go
I really
back.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. And we're gonna switch it up just a little bit, because I need to get into the mind of a creative here on the show. So, what is your wake up ritual like?
Wake up ritual. Sometimes it varies, but most of the time I try to wake up and do my morning prayers. I try to wake up and if I'm not working out, just do some type of cardio or workout, just to, get myself right and get in the right mindset of whatever I need to be doing that day.
Exactly.
Um, a lot of times, as if you're a creative, music can come at any given time or moment. So,
Right.
and luckily,
Right.
I have a home studio, so I have the pleasure of working when I need to at my own leisure. But
Nice.
um, it's just my days are different. Sometimes it could be really really busy, or sometimes it could be a really really chill day and just being alone with my thoughts, or just trying to figure out what the next moves are. um it just really depends, but
It
I try to
depends
keep
on the
as much
mood.
positive.
You saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
each day, I try to keep as much love and positive energy around me as possible, especially going
Beautiful.
through 2020 and the things that we've had to endure this year. It's a must to keep that around you,
Right.
because there's so much negative things going on, whether it's in politics or just life things or whatever it is. You got to keep that positive energy alive and around you, because there's so many things that can try to knock you down. There's so many obstacles that's come abroad to us this year, that's like, man, how do we get through it, you know
Exactly. Exactly. Something that you touched on is in that new film Soul on Disney with Jamie Foxx, and that's it. Like, we have to
yeah.
find a way to get into that zone and block out so
Yeah,
much
absolutely.
negativity that we've had to experience. Exactly. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Now, tell us about your work with other artists. We've talked a little bit about the work with Houdini, and he went by Ecstasy, correct? So, tell us about your work with other artists. Do you have any fave collaborations?
Oh man, that's always a hard question because I've just had the pleasure and the blessings to have worked with so many amazing artists in all genres. So it's like kind of hard to
Right.
say. But
Hmm.
I mean, I've had the pleasure of doing things with Bobby Brown and Whitney
Wow.
Houston,
What?
CC Peniston, Robin S,
Yes.
Future, man. It's just so many artists.
It's an
Justin Bieber.
impressive background. I saw the
Uh,
Justin Bieber. Did you work with Jaden Smith as well?
I did. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Wow. Legend. I'm going to say it over and over.
yeah,
Your
man.
hashtag is actually legend, but I'm glad you chose creative. Legend indeed. Just to be around those different artists. How many different genres have you been around or worked on?
I mean, pretty much all of them. From
Wow.
house, dance music to, of course, hip hop to R&B, soul, jazz, rock, pop, EDM.
Wow.
It's just my mind is just, it's always been conditioned to just creativity. So I've never been able to just keep myself in a box. Like if I
Hmm.
felt like I wanted to make pop music after making R&B, then that's what it would be. Or if I wanted to go strictly over to country and then go back to hip hop, then that's what it would be. Or somehow intertwine all of them some way somehow. It's just about opening the envelopes because music is endless and has no boundaries. Music is just music. So as long as it feels good to me, that's what matters.
Exactly. And now tell us about Goldmine. I can see that. I'm a huge Jay Holiday fan as well, so it was great seeing that. So tell us about the new project, the new song Goldmine.
Yeah, so Goldmine was actually a song that I had about 3 years ago. And
Okay.
it was just kind of sitting in my archives, and it was a song that I really forgot about. And I wrote the song with a guy by the name of Ray Fonder. He's an amazing songwriter and artist as well. And it was just something that we demoed and just kind of had it sitting around for a while, and I didn't really know what to do with it. So earlier this year, I was just kind of going through the catalog and seeing what I had, and I just ran across the song again, and I'm like, wow, I totally forgot about it, and I love the song. So I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I need to use it somehow, and I kind of felt like I needed somebody else on it with me just to kind of give it a different texture. And I had a
Mm-hmm.
couple
Mm-hmm.
people in mind, but Jay Holiday was one of the people that I had in mind because we've known each other for quite some time, but we just had never worked before. So it
Right.
was just kind of one of the things to where, like, this could be, something great for R&B, but a new working relationship between me and him as well. So I just kind of reached out to him and told him, hey man, let's get something done. Let me know what you think about this song. And he loved it, and we put it together.
I love it. I love how it came out. The video, I was like, okay, so several glasses of water and come back too because the video's hot. So if they haven't seen the video, you guys need to go over to Goldmine and check out
Yeah,
Jay
check it out. Check it
Worthy
out. It's on
featuring
YouTube.
Jay
Yeah,
Holiday. It's on YouTube,
yeah.
indeed. All right. And what's your most important part of the work that you do? What do you feel is the most important part?
The most important part. Oh man. It's so many different parts of that, but I would say it's just I just want to continue to inspire people, because I see a lot of times, people try to get into this business and they get discouraged or they get frustrated because maybe things aren't moving fast enough or they feel like they can't get to a certain level or whatever it is. And I just
Right.
want to, let people know that, I'm a walking testimony that you really can do it. Like it's possible. And and the things that I've been able to accomplish and do thus far, and I still have so much more to do and so much more to accomplish. You could do it. You just got to be consistent. You got to be strong minded. You got to have confidence in yourself, and you
Right.
got to build great relationships. And it's not overnight, but it's possible. You just got to believe in it enough to be like, even if I feel like people don't believe in me or they don't believe in my craft, like I believe in it, and it's my job to make you believe in it, or do some type of persuading for you to be like, okay, now I see the vision. And
I
that
love
was
it.
that was my story for a while. Like I had to get people to understand what my vision was, and I'm still doing that. But I had to really sit down and come one with myself to be like, man, if if I don't like take it seriously, nobody else will, you know?
Exactly.
And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
want to leave with
Exactly.
people. And not only, from the music side, like, of course, I want my legacy to stand alone, with just providing, great music and great content and just great messages. But, just continue to inspire people and just continue to be a creative.
I love that. And, that's the thing that we're going into a collab era. And you said something that's really important is to take your time to build those relationships, that it does not happen overnight. And being willing to sell yourself. I'm an executive admin in my career world. So you have to be willing to sell yourself to the next boss and the next to climb that ladder in the corporate world, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, I love that. That was good stuff right there, James. Thank you for sharing it and sharing it in that way. Let me ask you, go into the community a little bit. What is your most important role in the Black community?
Um, I would probably say that, I'm a black man that isn't afraid to step out on faith and step out of the white lines, so to speak. And what I mean by
Hmm.
that is I'm not afraid to be me. I'm not afraid to do things that may be out of the normal, or I'm
Yeah,
not afraid to be as creative as I want to be because of what somebody might think about it, or it may not be what's in right now or what's popular right now.
hmm,
Like I've never been that person. Like I've always stood in my own lane, and I've always done what I've
that's
always wanted to
good.
do at my own pace. And I think that's important in today's community, not even just in music. It
Hmm.
could be with anything. It's just you got to be a
Exactly.
trendsetter. You got to be a trailblazer. Like, if you're just following
Yes,
what somebody else is doing, there's no growth. There's no
exactly.
there's just no moving forward. So there has to be somebody that has to, push the needle forward, and I have no problem being that person.
I love it. I'm a fan of I Bring Me, as you guys saw in the background earlier, unapologetically me, unbothered and unfiltered at all times. So indeed, it's not the place that everyone is comfortable with, but those people, some stay, some don't. Everyone comes for a season for a reason. So I'm in tune with where you're going with that. James, tell us about your history with the music industry. You've already done a lot of that already. We really don't want to make you put you on the spot with the favorite artist thing. So that's not fair. Not with a person like you. So just share with us what you would like to share.
Man, well, I mean, I can definitely tell you who my favorite artist is. He's the greatest of all time, in my opinion, Michael Jackson.
Okay. Mine
You know,
too. All day, every
yeah, that's
day.
just the great. That's
MJ.
just the great. And
I'm
and
telling
um
you.
and and he earned that right, of course. But
Yeah.
I,
Hmm.
I guess I have a different take on it. Besides his music, I've actually had the pleasure of meeting him once. Uh,
Oh. Never,
early.
never met
Yeah,
him. Oh my God, that's amazing.
I had a chance to meet him around age 10 or 11. I had a chance to meet him in New York City,
Oh
and
wow.
man, just an amazing experience to say the least. You know, he was already one of my idols at that
Right,
age. Um,
right,
and it was just great. You know, I didn't really understood what that meant at that time, you know, in the
right,
moment. But you
right,
know, as time went on, you know, I just replayed that moment, and you know, it was just a once in a lifetime kind of situation. But you know, it really made me think about, you know, where my steps were going after that. So
right.
of course, I kind of felt like that was the stamp of me getting into the entertainment business, in the
The
music business.
universe. So
And that
powerful.
was, you know,
Exactly.
yeah, I think
Hmm.
that was just like the stepping stone, or one of the stepping
Yeah.
stones. And it was just a
Yeah.
great moment in time for me. And I was just happy to have that moment. And
I'm happy that you had that
you
moment.
know,
I'm a fan. I've had Michael
yeah.
Jackson on my wall as a child in a Christian home. He was the only secular my dad let me listen to. So I'm
Wow,
feeling you on
wow.
that. Yeah, that was meant for you to meet him.
Yeah, it was
When I
amazing.
look at your life, yeah, man. Okay,
Yeah, man. You
I gotta
know,
get it
it's
back
so
together.
crazy. I've had a chance to
Yeah,
meet so many people and be around so many people and work with so many great people that I think a lot of times people just don't even realize, like, because I'm still young, and you know,
right,
the things that I've done and the people that I've worked with and been around, like, you would think that, man, he's probably 40 years old or something like that. And
right.
you
I
know,
mean,
it's
it
just a blessing
confused
to me,
me
you know.
looking at your background. I was like, when did he start doing this at two? Like, yeah, you, so I understand
Yeah, you know,
exactly what you're
and
speaking of. Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with, like, I just have a lot of respect and admiration for the greats, and I have a
Yeah.
lot of respect for those who came before me and showed me the way,
Right.
and gave me those words of wisdom, and gave me those gems, to where, like, you know, I've always been a big advocate of learning from people's mistakes, and learning
That part.
from what they did wrong, and the things that they've done right, to where, like, I'm gonna take that and not emulate it, but I'm just gonna take it, and you know, just use what I can the right way to my own brand, and you know, just make and carve out my own lane and success from that. So I think that had a lot to do with it as well.
Well, James Worthy, you speak to the soul of the creative. I'm a creative in a different field, but wow, exactly that. Seeing what people have done before you and saying, I'm not, not necessarily putting them down, but here's what I will do with that path. So, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Share your creative process with us.
Creative process. Uh, in what aspect? In the songwriting aspect, or just songs? Period.
Um, yeah, like, okay, there's some people tell me I don't write it down. That was one of the guests, J. Rush Jennings. He said I do not write it down. So do you put it in a bunch of notebooks? My sister is one with 95 notebooks. I don't understand them with all this different slang of rap happening in her note. So how do you put it all together on the computer or in your head, or what's your process?
um. Well, if I'm creating for myself, then a lot of times, if I already have a production idea, or a track that already has an idea that I like, I'll just go in and mumble melodies over it, just to kind of figure
Mm,
out where I want to take it. And then I form the words and the lyrics around the melodies, and then I'll just continue
nice.
to keep building on top of it until I get the full puzzle.
Oh, I
But
like
if
that.
I'm strictly writing for someone else, a lot of times it's kind of the same. Like, I'll start with melodies and then just form everything else around that. So if I'm writing a song for someone else, I'll figure out what concept, or what uh, storyline, so to speak, would work for them, or would how would they feel about talking about this? And then once I have the concept, I'll form the melody, and then I'll form the words around that, and then just put the full song together.
I like that. I like that. So you really do come from a music perspective. I grew up in a gospel family, so it was always the music first and then the words forming. So I like that indeed. Tell us what your thoughts are on the pandemic that we are still in. Unexpectedly, probably for many that we would be in it this long. But what are your thoughts on the pandemic, COVID-19, and how has it impacted your daily activities and your creative flow?
COVID-19 has been something else, to say the least. And it was just like a total 360 for me, because I remembered earlier this year in January, I released my second EP, Kaleidoscopes, and I had a release event that same month that it came out.
Wow.
And thank you for everybody. If you were in Atlanta, thank you for coming out. It was a sold out event, packed to
Wow.
capacity. Everybody came and showed love. It was amazing. Actually, again, rest in peace to Ecstasy. Ecstasy attended that event. And,
Wow.
right after that event, coming into February, the pandemic hit. And,
Right.
everything's kind of, I don't want to say went away, but a lot of it just kind of started fizzling out. We had a whole tour scheduled for 2020. Just a lot of traveling, a lot of different things that just kind of got pushed back, and
Right.
it had to it really made me just have to go back to the drawing board, and just go back to square one and figure out, okay, what's the next move? How do we restructure this, and go from there? So it's really kind of it just changed perspectives business wise for a lot of different
Right.
things. But
Hmm.
on the flip side, it really helped me become more in tune with myself as a person, figuring out different flaws that I didn't know I had,
Nice.
different triumphs that I didn't know I had,
Hmm.
um, figuring out, just how to maneuver in hard times in different ways that we
Nice.
haven't seen in the world before. Because we've never been through a pandemic like this. So
Exactly.
I think it just showed everybody a different way of how to live and maneuver in the world, and really just sitting back and reevaluating the things about yourself, and what you've been doing throughout your life, and maybe there's things that you need to work on or change. And
Right.
I think that's what did it for me.
I really, again, I hate to just be in the middle of putting this movie out there in the middle of your interview, but The Great Before and The Great Beyond, a concept is exactly that in the Soul movie on Disney with Jamie Foxx this weekend. So I'm sorry, but it's really that.
Yeah,
If you didn't look at yourself in this, you're on the wrong side of history when 2021 begins. Because it was a
absolutely.
season to take a deep look inside of who we are. So, exactly, I can
I
relate to
totally
you
agree.
on that. So, let's hear your thoughts, switching it up just a little in the right direction. Let's hear your thoughts on injustice in Black America, on Black Lives Matter. Lives always mattered, but just on the movement itself and the pain facing the Black community.
Well, I think that, again, with 2020, I think that it showed a lot of things that were held in the dark, and a lot of those things
Mm,
came to the light,
mm-hmm,
and whether it was good or bad. And of course, within the bad things, we've had tons of deaths this year, untimely deaths that were very tragic, that you really wouldn't even think were necessary. And
mm-hmm.
I think that even past the Black Lives Matter movement, I think that you know, and I've said this publicly before. I think a lot of times us as Black people, you know, we gotta get out of the mindset of me, and
There
we
you
have
go.
to get into the mindset of us and really coming together, not just at specific times of when something tragic happens, or when someone passes away or whatever it is, just because it's been publicized. I think
Exactly.
that we have to support each other no matter what, whether someone has a business, whether someone has something that's trying to uplift the communities, or just uplift our culture, period. It shouldn't just have to be at specific times. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of that has to do with the grooming of how our upbringing was,
There we
or
go. Speak on it.
or
There
what's
we go.
being what's being put in front of us to make us feel like we need it when we really don't. And
There
a
we
lot
go.
of it also has to do with ego. And I think a lot of our people have too much ego, to where, like, if we really strip that back, we would see a big transition to where, like,
Yeah.
if we really stood together and made our own things versus um, relying on other ethnicities in other countries to make what we already know how to make, we
There
would be
you
the
go.
strongest ever. And if
I
people
would agree
really
with
thought
that.
about it, we used to be that. We were the first Black people on Wall Street. We were Wall
Exactly.
Street.
Exactly that part.
We've done it, but I think that, you know, of course, it was taken from us, but we've also been um, conditioned to think that we need these other brands to validate us, in
Well,
which
they
in
spent a long
actuality,
time classically conditioning us in that aspect to take away that history, to take away the truth of who we were, to tear us down using terms like minority. You know, so they've spent a long time stripping that away from the people. But you said something that resonated with me because the Dalai Lama said it also recently. It's about the upbringing, what the people are taught growing up, and what's in your environment. That's going to make or break you. That's going to inspire you to do
absolutely,
or not do. So,
absolutely.
exactly that.
And
So,
also
can
too, you
I?
know, and just to even add to that, you know, I'm just one of those people to where I'm a free thinker, and you know,
Right.
I've never really let anyone try to change judgment on what I feel or what I think is right. So again, it still goes back into the upbringing, or even marketing. Marketing is a
Hmm.
huge tool in this world, and whatever's
It is.
marketed in front of you the most is most likely what people are going to gravitate towards, and
Speak.
that can change someone's judgment. And I think a lot of times people just have to really take a step back and really think logical and think about what benefits me the right ways instead of what's being put in front of me
There
for the
you
wrong
go.
reasons.
There you go. Man, you are impressive, James Worthy. You are impressive because just to see you think like that at a young age, needing so many more. I almost feel like our age group, speaking of me, we're closer to 50. So our age group, um, they don't have a lot of that thought process. And I'm seeing a lot of that with the younger generation. That's going to change so much. That's it, just continue to be you. I'm sure you do not need to be told that. Continue going in the path that you're on because that is exactly what is going to change everything that we see today. I'm going to be in a nursing home talking about that. Them, I told you guys, you know. So, now let's go a little bit. If you want to not answer, it's okay. 2020 election. Talk to me about the election when, and do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh man, that's such a big topic in itself.
Hmm.
You know, I think we're gonna definitely see a much more interesting year in 2021 than 2020. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Hmm. Hmm.
I think 2020 has shown again. You know, there's been a lot of things that's been in the dark that's coming to the light now. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that coming out. But, there's just been a lot of corruption, not only in government, but, in police enforcement, uh,
Right.
media, marketing. It's just corruption all over the board.
Hmm.
And, it's really just going to have to take, again, our people to really, really come together and stand up for what we know is right.
That
We
part.
don't we shouldn't have to fall victim of, what someone says is right, or why should we have to take a vaccine, or why should we have to um move a certain way, or whatever the topic is.
Right.
We got to move our way, and we're not going
That's
to see
good.
any result of that if we don't start moving as a unit.
That's
That's
it.
just the bottom line.
That's the bottom line. I've said it for so long. I was the oddball saying that for years. I just want to see a shift in that direction. I never said it for anything other than if we unite, like many cultures, other cultures that I'm great friends with, if we unite like that, you will see something powerful happen in our
Exactly.
us.
Exactly.
In our us. Yep, exactly. So I'm going to switch it up and try to get into your fun side. What's your most adventurous trip or activity that you've had in your lifespan? And I'm gonna put Michael Jackson
Oh
and
wow.
just being in his presence, but no, you say what you say.
Oh wow. Okay. Most adventurous. Wow. I've had so many different experiences, but let me see. I would probably say I had a chance to go to Dubai once,
Ooh,
and
bucket list.
that was
Wow.
just a beautiful place. And I remember I went there, and I had a chance to go through the Sahara Desert, and it was actually cooler than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be
Right.
scorching hot. It was hot, but
Right.
not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So,
Wow.
we're just on these safari trucks. We're just riding through the sand and through the
I've seen it.
desert,
I
and
love it.
just having
We have
fun.
that in Colorado,
So,
but not the same thing.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing, amazing
Yeah.
experience. So, I
Yeah.
remember I'm going through the desert, and just soaking it in, and we're pulling into this. It almost looked like a community just out in the desert, just out of nowhere. And we're pulling up to
Right.
the community, and it's towards the evening time. So we're pulling up, and I'm getting out, and there's like this community of people that's just coming out to greet me, and they're having like this huge feast there, and
Hmm.
I mean tons of food, tons of drinks, and just the whole atmosphere was just amazing.
Wow.
So they're putting us in their robes.
Nice.
We're wearing our head wraps. It's just a whole experience. And
Right.
turns out that they were fans of me, and I had no idea.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I
And
love it.
it
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah.
an eye-opening experience. It's just
Hmm.
wow. It's just amazing to see that. And yeah, I was actually there with my mother. Actually, we both went to Dubai together that year, and
Beautiful.
it was just amazing to see.
That had to have been great for the spirit, being the kind of person that you are, and you are in tune with, meditation, the universe, being aware. I can tell it, I can feel it, the energy's coming through the microphone. So, what was it like for that part being in Dubai? That's why it's on my bucket list.
I mean, it's a beautiful place. It's an amazing place. I mean, so much culture, so much architecture, so much
Hmm.
money out there.
Yeah,
It's just it's a very disciplined place as well. Like
that part.
it's very strict. If they're saying, hey, if there's a certain time that everybody needs to go in, then you got to go in. Or if they're waking up in the morning, you'll hear like this seance that they have in the morning. Every morning, it's loud. You can hear it through the whole city, and it's just an amazing place. I mean, I was
A
just
sense of
amazed at the architect.
order. A sense of
Yeah,
order
just
is
the
needed. You
order
can't let the
and
people be all over the place. That's not always a good thing.
yeah, yeah, and it just
Mhm.
gave me a different perspective on how people live there and compared to the U.S. You know,
Right.
and it was
Mhm.
just great to see, and the people were nice, the food was amazing, the atmosphere was amazing. Again, the architecture was amazing. Just the designs of those buildings and different things that they had available was, I was just like, wow.
I love it.
It
I
was
love
great.
it. It's on the bucket list, the images. I'm gonna be, over there in some part of this lifespan. If not, when I get to the great beyond, that's my first stop. Okay, so James, what should we expect from James Worthy in 2021?
What can you expect from James Worthy? Definitely a debut album from me.
Yes, love
I've
it.
been locked in working on this album for almost the whole year of 2020. Just,
Okay.
really perfecting it, making sure that I'm speaking on what feels important to me.
Hmm.
Um, and just really, really understanding who I am as the artist and understanding, what people want from me,
That's right.
and um, just really, really taking my time. I didn't want it to feel rushed. I didn't want it to feel like I needed to put it out as soon as possible. I'm really a stickler of making bodies of work that makes sense, and you can actually tell that I took my time with it.
There you go.
And
Hmm.
I wanted to work with those that I felt like um, made an impact not only on my career, but people that I actually know personally, that I felt like
Right.
I wanted them to be a part of this project. So that's just something that I've been um, just working on this whole time. So I'm really, really excited about that. Um, you can expect more collaborations coming out for 2021.
Any Justin Bieber?
Uh,
I'm the grandma that's the J Bieber fan. My adult children do not appreciate my obsession with Justin Bieber, but do you have him coming up possibly?
well, hopefully, man. I would love to get back in the studio with him and do some more work. So, Justin, holla at me, man. Let's do it.
Yes,
But
yes,
yeah,
do
just
that.
just tons of new stuff. Just tons of new stuff.
Yeah,
Collabs, the new project, more television and film projects, and just continuing to, of course, expand the brand, and not only the James Worthy brand, but also my production company as well, which is Humble Sound Music Group. So just
love it.
continuing to expand that brand,
Shout out to
and
Humble Sound Music Group.
this
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and James, can I say this before we talk about how to find you on social media? Can you drop any names on the album? Anybody that we should know about early? Just on the D Shields show.
On the album. So let me see. I know for sure you guys can expect Brian McKnight Jr. on the album.
Oh, Brian
Um,
McKnight Jr.
y- yeah, yeah, amazing, amazing guy.
Okay, I'm ready for
Uh,
it. Okay.
you, you can expect 112 on the album.
Hey,
Um,
112.
let me see. You can expect. Let me see. You might hear Goody Mob on the album.
What?
Um,
What?
yeah.
Nice. This is gonna be fire. It's
And
gonna be fire. I'm
that's just a
excited.
couple right there.
Okay, that's
That's
just
just
a
a
few.
couple.
I appreciate those gems being dropped. And also, can you tell us, do you have a virtual concert coming up? A pandemic where the current president-elect is speaking of 100-day kind of let's get rid of this virus movement. So if he shuts us down for 100 days, will you give us a virtual concert?
You know what? And I'm glad you said that because I was supposed to do a virtual concert about a month and a half ago, but we wanted to make it a big thing, and with my live band, and just make it a
Right.
special moment. But the venue that we were using, unfortunately got shut down because of COVID. And I'm
Oh,
like, well, if it ain't right, I can't do it, you know?
right.
So going into 2021, you can definitely expect a virtual concert.
I love it.
And it's actually going to be coming up on my 2-year anniversary of my Blue Leisure EP. Um,
Okay.
um, so, yeah, I'm gonna be celebrating that project. Of
Love
course, I'll
it.
probably do a tribute to Ecstasy as well, and we'll
Right.
make it into a virtual concert as well. So yeah, be on the lookout for that too.
I will be in that virtual audience. I want to see that. And I love your creativity. I love that you're able to adapt without the negativity. You're just going with the flow of where the universe is taking us. And that's the only way to survive on the other side of history with what we have going on. So now I'm going to ask you, and I think we've talked a little bit. How could the viewers connect with you on social media?
Yeah, everybody can follow me all social media at King James Worthy. You can find me on my website too, jamesworthymusic.com. You can follow my company page as well, Humble Sound MG. And you can find all of my projects and releases on all digital platforms: Spotify, Apple, Tidal, anywhere you can buy and stream music. All of it is available. And you can also find me on my YouTube channel, James Worthy Music. And yeah, just look me up.
All things James Worthy. You guys, you have to go check out the
Yeah.
Goldmine video with Jay Holiday. That video is just so sizzling hot. So I love it. I just want you guys to go over there, go to YouTube, go check it out because it's really good. James, I thank you for coming and having a conversation with me and sharing your part of your world
Oh,
for a
thank you so
moment.
much.
I appreciate you so much for doing that.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the love and support. And
Always.
yeah, again, I'm so excited to share this debut album with you guys for next year. It's probably some of the best music I've ever made.
Love
And
it.
just in the sense of just where I'm at, not only musically but just in my life.
Right.
Just the things that I want to display and talk about. It's just it's really dear to me. You know.
And I like going into the head of the artist. I know I dig a little bit too much, but you guys answer the question, so I can't even complain. So I appreciate you so much. I'm following your journey. I'm, a fan, and I'm definitely going to bring you back once it slows down a little bit after the album, and we'll come back and talk about the experience.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and you
Definitely,
have a great
definitely. Thank
evening.
you so much. You
Happy
too.
holidays your way. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you
Bye bye.
guys, we're out. And for those who are celebrating Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa to you all.